Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome all of you. You are our dear family, our friends, our colleagues, both on the bench and the bar, and community leaders. And you're all a huge part of the success of this law firm over the past 30 years. And then the other reason we're here is to congratulate my dear partner, Thon Beck, on his retirement. I've had the good fortune and the great luck to work at only one law firm my entire career. And so Tom and I have been around together, along with Bill before he retired, for many, many years. And it's been just an incredible ride for all of us. I think, there's no great secret to our success other than some fundamentals that we live by at our firm. The first is we care deeply about our clients. And as a result, we practice law with passion. And the second is we care deeply about our community, and especially here in Pasadena, where we've been housed for 29 plus years. And the third is we believe in practicing law with honor. And that served us well and will continue to serve us well over the next 30 years. The other reason we're here is this retirement business. And I got to tell you, when I first started hearing retirement rumors around the water cooler, I couldn't believe it. And I was depressed for like a week when I started hearing these rumors about retirement. And I just thought to myself, how could someone so instrumental to this law firm be retiring at such a young age? I just couldn't believe it. And then my partner Kevin and I, we went out for a glass of wine one night and we got talking, and Kevin said something about Tom retiring. And I said, Tom? I said, I thought it was my secretary of 27 years, Debbie Rose, that was retiring. So I was so excited to hear it was only Tom. So I'm very pleased to announce that Debbie Rose is not retiring. And therefore the law firm can continue to thrive. Seriously, I do want to recognize our outstanding staff, because anybody that runs a law firm or any business knows you get nowhere without a first-rate staff. And we certainly have that. We have a staff of great longevity and loyalty to the firm, as well as some newer members as well. But it's fantastic. And I'd like to publicly recognize and thank our staff. They're all here tonight. Debbie Rose, that I've already mentioned. Norma Gaffney. Martha Batellum. Kathy Fleming, Jane Costanzo, Brenda Smith, Elvia Carlos, Ariana Carlos, we like to keep it in the family, Veronica Celis, and the only one that's not here tonight, I'm a little suspicious, is our bookkeeper. No one's minding the store, so Sophia's not with us, but she's recently joined us and she couldn't be here tonight. I also want to recognize my outstanding partners. Of course, Tom will talk about later, but I'm referring now to Kevin and Dan, Kevin Callahan and Dan Powell. And they're fabulous partners and great lawyers to work with. We also have a couple of young bucks that are doing a fabulous job at our firm, Michael O'Connor and Alex Becerra. And thanks especially to Alex, our law firm no longer speaks just legalese, we also speak Spanish. Muchas gracias, Alejandro. Then I want to thank, of course, the ladies behind this law firm that have been instrumental to our longevity and our success, our dear wives, and especially the wives of the partners, Cheryl and Jerry and Glenda and Susan and Lupe. So thank you, ladies, very much for all you've done for our firm. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you, our colleagues in town here. When we first moved to Pasadena about 29, almost 30 years ago, the trend was moving downtown or going out to Wilshire Boulevard, and Pasadena was kind of in the hinterlands. And now our little secret about what a great place to practice law in Pasadena is no longer a secret. And so we thank the bench and the bar in this great community, and thank you for sharing such a wonderful legal community with us. At this time, I'd like to welcome our first dignitary and speaker, and that's Congressman Adam Schiff. And Adam has been a great friend to our law firm for many years. Tom and I first met Adam when he was running for state senate. About 15 years ago, we had a breakfast meeting with Adam, and we were immediately impressed with a lot of things, but particularly his intelligence, his compassion, and his commitment. And he is a Stanford undergraduate, he's a Harvard Law School graduate, and he served with the U.S. Attorney's Office before becoming a state senator. And now, of course, he's in Washington, and he's brought a breath of fresh air there. And he serves on some important committees like the House Appropriations Committee, the House Permanent Selection Committee on Intelligence. And he's been instrumental in this community with the Gold Line effort that he's undertaken. He's especially fond of kids, and he's got a Kids First program that he started that emphasizes safety and health of our youth. And we owe him a great deal of gratitude for that, as well as what Adam's done for small businesses in this community. That's been another passion of Adam's. And he's done a great job in this community in that regard as well. So please join me in welcoming Congressman Adam Schiff.
Well, Greg, thank you very much. You having a nice time tonight? Well, it is just a pleasure to be here, Manny, and to be here with so many good friends. I want to, at the outset, congratulate the firm on 30 extraordinary years. As Greg mentioned, ever since my first breakfast with some of the partners in the firm, I was extraordinarily impressed with the integrity, with the commitment, with the excellence, with the dedication of all of the attorneys at the firm and the staff. And those of you who have been fortunate enough to be clients of the firm, let me tell you, as you well know already, you are well represented. And one of the things I admire too about the firm is just the extraordinary level of commitment to community, and how involved all of the attorneys at the firm and the staff of the firm are in efforts to better the community. It's just an extraordinary group of people, and it really has been a privilege to get to know them, to work with them, and I'm also very grateful for their support. It is a very bipartisan firm, as Steve Cooley and I can tell you, and we're very appreciative of that as well. I want to say a couple words about Tom. And I only regret that this was not a roast, because I have to throw out reams of material. But Tom, I want to wish you all the best in the future. You're a wonderful friend, and just a bright, capable, hardworking, dedicated attorney and committed member of our community. I know you're going to go on to do extraordinary things. I think, Tom, you could do anything, anything you set your mind to. And so I'm very excited to see what you go on and do. Tom and I hit it off immediately, not least of which for the reason that he is Tom, part of Tom and Jerry, and I am Adam, part of Adam and Eve. My wife Eve is here, and we're a very select group that have amusing names that way. But Tom and Jerry clearly meant to be, Adam and Eve meant to be as well, and we were all meant to be good friends. And so I am very excited. Steve, I think you should run for office, don't you think? Wouldn't he be outstanding? I mean, I'm not making an announcement here of anything. This is not set up that way. But the only thing I would warn you about, Tom, is the law pedigree, not such a good one anymore. I can tell you when I first ran for office, this was sort of typical. Knocked on someone's door. I was telling them about all my great work, Steve Madison in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and Steve. And he stopped me and he said, "Prosecutor, does that mean you're a lawyer?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, then I'm not going to vote for you. Are you crazy? Vote for a lawyer?" To which I responded in the only way you can under those circumstances by saying, "Well, you know, my opponent is also a lawyer." To which he responded the only way he could, which was, "Certainly there's a third-party candidate who isn't a lawyer." And I said, "Actually, there was a libertarian and he's an insurance salesman." And he said, "Well, that's who I'm voting for." So for those of you here in insurance sales, you got a much better ballot designation than we do. But sincerely, Tom, you're going to go on and do other great things. You've been doing great things already. We're very proud of you. We're very lucky to call you friend, and we wish you every success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam. Our next speaker is the Honorable Steve Cooley, the Los Angeles County District Attorney. Steve is winding down his third historic term as our District Attorney. He operates one of the most important and prestigious District Attorney offices throughout the country. He's responsible for over 1,000 Deputy District Attorneys, and his office prosecutes over 54,000 serious crimes, felonies per year, and over 100,000 misdemeanors. And Steve has made it his job to not just go after crime in the streets, but crime in the ivory towers of justice as well. No one's above the law with Mr. Cooley in place. He's also brought the office up to speed and the latest technology. He's greatly increased the DNA base, criminal DNA base, and he's also relentlessly gone after the cold cases. So no one rests easily when Steve's the top cop in town. In sum, Steve's done a great job making our community so much safer. And Steve and his wife Jana have been longtime loyal friends of our firm, and especially of Tom and Jerry. And we want to thank you for those years of friendship and support. And now please welcome Steve Cooley, our District Attorney.
Thank you very much, Greg. And I was very impressed with the fact that the firm has been here for 30 years. And Tom, founding partner, 30 years. But then I thought about, I've been the DA for 12 years and the D's office for 40 years. So I'm not that totally impressed with the years of service. Well, I am impressed with this firm's incredible accomplishments, very, very ethical, very, very professional, very, very successful. And so, Tom, thank you for founding this firm with your partners and your current partners. And if you don't know who they are, check your labels. Thon Beck, Vanni, Callahan, and Powell, the current partners. But what a great firm. I have a certificate here for them, which, although we think they're the greatest, we didn't frame it because we got no money in the county. And we have one for you, Tom. And you know, let me talk very personally and from the heart. And things you probably don't know about. Tom Beck, as a human being, forget the lawyer stuff, the great lawyer stuff, and all that stuff. This is someone who's done very, very well over time and has given back from his heart in very targeted ways to very good causes. I'm talking about little needy church groups, and I've been there with Tom, down in South Central. I'm talking about, and he won't talk about this, I will, anonymous gifts. I don't know how he does it, probably money laundering, which I should investigate. Anonymous gifts to upgrade the landscaping around churches that don't have a lot of extra money to make their place look good. I know this stuff because he landscaped beautifully, anonymously, the church I went to as a kid, St. Teresa of Avila, down on Glendale Boulevard in Fargo. It was not a rich community. It's become a less rich community. But all of a sudden, their church got upgraded. They looked good because some anonymous donor had a little extra money and focused on that. Thoughtful and very good. So I've outed you tonight on some of your anonymous charities, but that's the mark of the man. And he sent me his resume, which is like, I couldn't even read it. I haven't got that kind of time. I got people read stuff for me, and they couldn't read it. But his accomplishments, commitments, Irish American Bar, LMU, Loyola Law School, this and that, Catholic Church, St. Thomas More Society. Quiet, understated, this is our guy. Quiet, understated, important, giving. And I think that's because he married Jerry. It's not about him, it's about Jerry. At any rate, you know what, Tom, I think so much about you. I'm so proud of you. Unlike the certificate we have here for the law firm, I may even pay for your frame. I love you that much. At any rate, you're just celebrating a great guy, a great law firm. I love you, Tom. I love you.
Thank you, District Attorney Steve Cooley. I have to say that's the first time I've ever heard the words quiet and understated affiliated with Thon Beck. Unless it's after 8 o'clock at night. Our next speaker is Steve Madison, Pasadena City Council member. And Steve is not only a great public servant here in Pasadena, but a distinguished trial lawyer himself. He's served with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the past, along with Adam Schiff, we heard. And now he's currently downtown with Quinn Emanuel. I guess you don't know about the secret of practicing law in Pasadena. But Steve was first elected in 1999 in Pasadena, re-elected in 03, 07, and 011, so Pasadena loves you. His district includes some of Pasadena's most prized icons, the Pasadena Playhouse, the Wrigley Mansion, and the Colorado Street Bridge. So you're a very important council member. Please join me in welcoming Council Member Steve Madison.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you all. It's really an honor for me to be here on behalf of the mayor, Bill Bogard, and the entire city council of Pasadena. You know, there are 8 of us on the council, and usually there are 9 opinions on any given issue, but we were unanimous in wanting to be here to express our gratitude and our pride that this wonderful law firm is here in Pasadena, as Greg has said. And to be here with such great friends. Steve Cooley, of course, is a great friend. The part of the story he didn't tell is after that church of his was landscaped, the money laundering investigation just evaporated. It went away immediately. Adam Schiff and I started in the U.S. Attorney's Office on the same day in 1987. And I literally went home after meeting Adam. I went home that night and I said, I mean, if they're all like this guy, I'm going to need to find another job fast. You know, Stanford, Harvard, accepted to law school, medical school, all the rest. I mean, he was just outstanding in every way. And then the next day I met Steve Zuliger, and I felt a lot better about myself. But I do have a commendation, and I got to tell you, you think the county budget is bad and the federal budget is bad with the city. You know, I had to pay for the commendation myself, but I was happy to do it. With our budget. And I actually have 2, and the first one is for the law firm and all of the partners, and I won't read it all, but I will just call out a couple of the highlights. It's a unanimous commendation by the City Council and the Mayor commending Thon Beck Vanni Callahan and Powell's longevity and success, which is directly related to the commitment of each lawyer in the firm to provide every client with the highest quality of vigorous legal representation while maintaining an unparalleled reputation for honesty, integrity, and accessibility. While the firm takes pride in its hard-earned reputation for excellence, its attorneys also have a rich, enduring tradition of community and professional involvement. There are a number of accomplishments that are listed here that I won't take the time. But importantly, the firm seeks justice for every one of its clients, and it also honors its responsibility to give back to the community. And so on behalf of the City Council and the Mayor, our gratitude is due to all who have organized the 30th anniversary celebration of the firm, and best wishes are extended to all who participate in this celebration, signed by the Mayor, Bill Bogard. So congratulations, Greg. And then I have one for Tom as well. Now, this one passed by a 4-3 vote. And I'm not going to tell you where my vote was on that, but you know, Tom is a great individual and he's a great lawyer. And if you don't believe it, just ask him and he'll tell you. You know, academically, well, you know, he wasn't in the top half of the class. He was in the half of the class that makes the top half possible. And I actually, I came across a letter of recommendation that one of his professors sent out to the law firm when he was being recruited. And it said, "You will be very lucky indeed if you can get Thom Beck to do any work for you." But it is so true what's been said, Tom. You're a role model for me and for so many of us in this community. One of my favorite sayings is, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person. And we heard just some of the commitments and the causes that Tom supports. We got to know each other even better through LaSalle High School, another important cause. And it's just you know, such a role model for the community to give back and be grateful for your success and want to share it with everyone in the community. So this commendation is for Thomas Patrick Beck, who has provided his clients in the community in Pasadena and at large with exemplary legal representation on the occasion of his retirement. It mentions his founding partner in the firm, Thon Beck, which is a pillar of the legal community in Pasadena. His individual accomplishments, including being inducted into the American College of Trial Lawyers, a very prestigious group. His stretch is being recognized year in, year out as one of the 100 attorneys in Southern California in his field, the top 100, and his numerous huge verdicts on behalf of his injured clients. And at the same time, he has shown a ceaseless commitment to the community and dedicated his time, resources, and considerable energy and attention to numerous charitable and community organizations, educational institutions, and others, all of which are laudable activities indicative of his strength of character. So we're very, very fortunate that Thom Beck is a member of our community. And again, Mayor Bill Bogart signed this on behalf of all of us. And thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Steve. I'd like to also thank and acknowledge the Los Angeles County Supervisor friend of ours, Michael Antonovich, who was here earlier, but due to another commitment had to leave and was not able to speak tonight. But he's also dropped off a beautiful proclamation to the law firm. So thank you to Michael and his office for that tonight. Our next speaker is one to whom I literally owe my career to, and that's the founding partner of this firm, Mr. William Tone. I thank my lucky stars for the day that I first met Bill back in early 1983. He is known as one of the nicest guys that has ever practiced law, and that's true on both sides of the fence that have ever worked with Bill. Bill started his career as a deputy sheriff for Los Angeles County and loved his work, and eventually became a bailiff in court and saw some of the finest trial lawyers in Los Angeles and decided, why not? I can do this myself. And then went on to law school and became one of the most successful and legendary lawyers, especially in the early days of Los Angeles personal injury law. And Bill has always had great patience with the young lawyers. He was a fine, fine mentor to me and many others that came through our office to learn the trade. And other than my dad, he's one of my first legal heroes. So I'd like to welcome Bill Tone.
Wow, Greg, that's amazing. I feel like I've been able to hear my own eulogy. I don't have a lot to say. I just have to make an appearance once in a while to prove to all of those who are still asking, yes, Bill Tone is still alive. Enjoying my retirement, and have been retired for 13 years. I'm happy in many respects that Tom will be joining me and we can be good buddies in retirement as well. Well, I've been watching a lot of the Olympic Games lately, and I've decided that I really deserve a gold medal. I mean, I deserve the gold medal for having put up with Thom Beck for over 30 years. Can you imagine? Well, as you've heard, we practiced law together for many, many years. Thom and I were not like partners, we were more like brothers. Actually, we're sort of like father and son. I looked up to Thom like he was my father. And we're still very close. We see each other 2 or 3 times a month at least. We hike together, we ski together, we do hiking and skiing trips together. And I expect that that will continue. Of course, in the last few years, I've had to slow the pace down a little at hiking and slow the pace down a little at skiing so Thom can keep up with me. So retirement, Thom, are you really going to pull the plug? Are you going to do it for sure? Well, I hope you're ready. It's enjoying the fun because it's great to retire. I highly recommend it. So why it is that this law firm has been so successful? I think it all boils down to one thing, a rule that I had, a rule that I learned from my father. And I have impressed every partner, every associate, everyone who works in the office, whether they're a secretary, receptionist, bookkeeper, each and every person is as important as the next. No lawyer is above his secretary. But one rule I've always established is that handling litigation and making every single decision, the decision always has to be whatever is in the best interest of our client. Not in the best interest of the individual lawyer handling the case, not in the best interest of the law firm, but in the interest of that client. If it's someone who should settle his case quickly and get on with his life and do what he should be doing, that's what we should do for him. If, on the other hand, we believe in our client's best interest, it would be best for a jury to decide his fate, then that's what we do. So it's been a great ride. I just thank everyone in the firm that has been so good to me and made my practice of law a complete joy. Thank you for coming.
Now you know why we retired him. All right, I know you've heard from too many lawyers, but we got one more, the big guy, and that's Thomas Patrick Beck. He goes by Thomas Patrick Beck because, depending on crowd or country, he's either a great Irishman or a German. And I have no idea why they would have named a beer after him. His last name certainly should not be Beck, it should be Mondavi. But Thom is a great blend of German determination and tempered by the love of life that the Irish have given to him. He truly is. Thom's been my partner my entire legal career. But he's not only a partner, he's one of my best friends. And for those of you who know Thom, like all of you, you're also one of his best friends. Just ask him. Because every time you're around Thom, he makes each of you feel special. That's a gift that he has. He's got an infectious personality. And we all do truly feel like we're his best friend when we're with him. We've only had one serious controversy in our years together, and it's kind of a red state, blue state kind of thing, but not political. He's a diehard Angel fan, and I bleed Dodger blue. We've never reconciled that. On a serious note, the one word that comes to mind right now about Thom, and it's been touched on by so many other speakers, but the one word I think that best describes Thom is generous. And generous not only with his wallet, but certainly with his time and his talent. And the list is too long to go into tonight, but I do want to highlight a couple of things that Thom has accomplished in terms of his generosity to the world and to the community. Right now, a central focus and the love of his life is a small school in Watts called San Miguel, an elementary Catholic school. And Thom has taken up paintbrushes, he's gardened there, he's raked, he's brought many dignitaries to the school to give them examples of great community leaders and what these kids can accomplish. Kids that have parents that have never gone further than probably the 3rd or 4th grade. And he's done some marvelous work down there quietly, but every week he's down on that campus and doing great things. In addition, Tom's given to the community in so many other ways. He served on the Methodist Hospital Board of Directors, Loyola Law School. He's been on the Board of Overseers there, Loyola Marymount, the Board of Regents. He's been past president of the Pasadena Bar Association, past president of the Irish Bar Association. He's been chairman of the Architectural Review Board in the city of Arcadia, and the list goes on and on and on. But the important thing about Tom, when he puts his name on a list, is it's not just for decoration. He immediately rises to positions of leadership, he rolls up his sleeves, and he really helps whatever effort that he's taken on. As far as Tom's legal career, it's obviously a distinguished one, and I could go on and on about his successes in the courtroom, his record jury verdicts, but seriously, how can you lose with those good looks and great charm? And as I think Steve Madison pointed out, Tom is a fellow of the American College of Trial Lawyers, and for those of you here that are non-lawyers, that is one of the most prestigious trial organizations by invitation only in the entire United States. But Tom is not only loved and respected by his clients, but I think a big compliment to Tom is he's loved by his adversaries. And a number of you that are here tonight have had cases against Tom, and you're the first, I'm sure, that will tell us what a gentleman he was, what a fair litigator, and what a great job he did for his clients. The good news is for Tom's retirement, he's not going far. He did apply to Leisure World, and when they saw his gray hair, they got all excited to have him. And then they found out he's only 60, so they rejected him. So Jerry and him have decided to stay in Arcadia. And Tom's going to maintain his office in the building on Green Street. And knowing Tom, he won't be able to keep his fingers out of the pie. So we're hoping this really isn't a retirement. It's just a little temporary insanity. And he'll come back to join his loving friends and family and go on to even more years as a great litigator. But Tom, come on up and say a few words to the crowd.
I have to start by saying that what I'm going to say is going to be G-rated, Greg, or Bill, and thank you for all the nice comments. I guess it's really nice to have a retirement and have these people say these nice things about you while you're still alive, you know. I want to start by Adam Schiff, the first speaker. I met Adam when he was in the U.S. Attorney's Office and before he had successfully run for any elected office. And we have been friends since. He's now one of the most influential people in our country. Tireless worker, hard worker. You know, we heard about his education. I joked one time at Jennifer's school that he couldn't get into Loyola Marymount, so he had to go to Stanford, and he couldn't get into Loyola Law School, so he had to go to Harvard. But hard worker, honest. One time he asked me to roast him, and so, you know, I thought I would do what all guys do, call the wife, you know, because the wife always knows all the dirt. So, you know, it's earlier been said, Tom and Jerry, Adam and Eve. So I call Eve and I said, you know, I'm going to roast Adam, and he doesn't want a tribute, he wants a roast, and, you know, like, give me some dirt so I can use it in the roast. And she goes, well, I got to think about that. And so she calls me back and she goes, I got something. She goes, you know, like when we go out to dinner and they bring the drink order, they bring a glass of wine and a Coke, and they always give the glass of wine to him and the Coke to me. But, you know, he doesn't drink. He gets, you know, they get it switched up. I go, that's the best you can do, Eve? You know, like that, you know? So the hardest guy on the planet to roast is Adam Schiff. I admire him so much. And if all politicians were like him, oh my God, would it be great? So one of the men I admire most. And another one that I admire most, I met Steve Cooley before he was district attorney. And we have developed our friendship during the last 12 years that he's been district attorney. He's also retiring, as many of you know, maybe in December 3 or whatever. Anyway, he's just a marvelous guy, a marvelous friend. I'm looking forward to developing our friendship even further. And I consider him one of my dear, dear friends. He's such a great guy. He's done such a great job for the County of Los Angeles. I feel like when he retires, I'll have more of his time. And so it'll be a gain for me, but it'll be a loss for Los Angeles County, because he's just a marvelous person, friend, and servant for Los Angeles County. I want to thank Steve Madison for his kind words. He, is a very noted litigator. He's in the LA Times. I read about you and Judge West, et cetera, et cetera. And he's in the American College, very distinguished trial lawyer and also public servant. And now Richard Gray, who I see somewhere here, has got Steve Madison to replace Thon Beck, right? Yeah. So he's happy. But anyway, thank you. I want to, I see my college friends here, like Mike Rue. I see my law school friends here, my neighbors, my hospital friends from Methodist Hospital here, my siblings, my brothers, my one sister that lives here, and the other sister lives in Hawaii. Yeah, I mentioned the sisters. Yeah, Denise back there. It means so much to me. I think I've tried to say to many of you how much it means to me that you took the effort to drive like John Major did from the desert, or Mike Hoff did from Lake Sherwood, and how many of you have traveled so far to be here. It just means a lot to me. I see Greg Herrick from, and Art Schmid, my law school roommate. It just means so much to me that you're here. Clem Conley was here earlier. I wanted to point out he had another obligation, who's a guy that, I admire so much. I think he's gone now. The sisters from Watts were here or are here. Are you still here? They're still here. And the sisters from Watts introduced me to volunteer work and mentoring and philanthropy in Watts. And I can't tell you how much I admire you and all you do for other people. You're such an inspiration to me. Bill Tone already spoke. Bill, I never had a big brother, and so I adopted Bill Tone, and he was the big brother I always wanted, I didn't have. We, started this firm 30 years ago, and we have remained dear friends since. He retired 14 years ago. We still ski together, hike together. He promised me in a phone call recently we're going to start doing marathons together. Some of my other marathon people that always can I say kick my ass? Greg and Paul Bigley, and trying to keep up with them, it's like crazy. But such a dear friend, and I just want to say publicly, I love you, Bill. And Greg, my little brothers are here, but I'm sure they would feel the way I do. Like, you couldn't have. I'm only saying this because I'm older. What a great brother he would be. Just a wonderful person to work for. And I should say that we're lawyers, and there's a lot of lawyers here, and we've never had a partnership agreement. I mean, we have been in business. It's maybe embarrassing to say that publicly. We've been in business 30 plus years. We've never had a partnership agreement. And I don't think you need a partnership agreement if you're dealing with the people of integrity like Kevin Callahan and Greg Vanni and Dan Powell and Bill Tone. It's a handshake. I mean, we have divided up a lot of money and had a lot of whatever over the years, and it was all just, and we're dear friends. I mean, we've been married to each other as law partners, and even maybe more so than in a marriage, we've divided up a lot of money. And we've never, ever, Yeah, we've never had a problem. We've never, law firms have partnership agreements. Well, we've never had one. I mean, we're kind of old school. So How many people tonight have asked me why I'm retiring? Like everybody I talk to. Yeah, and I have to say that I'm not retiring because of my health, because Steve Zuliger called me, and the first thing he says is, how's your health? Well, I tell you, my health is excellent. I mean, it's excellent. Yeah, it's the wine. Well, my health is excellent as far as I know. Now, a liver might be something I don't know about. You know, the liver, I don't know, but the joints are doing good. But I love the lawyers I work with. The staff, I love the staff. I look forward to coming to work. I mean, it's pretty sick maybe that you look forward to going to work, but I do. I just love the people I work with. And the other thing is we do something that I feel is very meaningful, that we help people that can't help themselves. And there's a lot of gratification in that. And so, and did I mention the money's really good? So sometimes I wake up and I go like, am I crazy? You know, to leave this? But I had an epiphany in 2004. My son Ryan is somewhere here, and I was at Ryan's graduation back there. And he was a Renaissance scholar at his college, meaning that he was getting 2 degrees, and you had to have more than 3.5 GPA, and of which is way above that. But the president of his college was a guy named Steve Sample, and he says, we are teaching your students to have 3 careers. He said, I didn't say jobs, I said careers. And it was kind of, you know, that moment I thought like, why can't I have 3 careers? So I came back and I told everybody I'm going to retire in 2008. And then I said I was going to retire in 2009. And then I said 2010, 2011, 2012. I mean it this time. So that's, you know, basically I want to have 2 or 3 careers. And I had a professional goal. When I first became a lawyer, I found out about the American College of Trial Lawyers, and you can't ask to join, they ask you to join. And that happened in 2008. I know that Steve Madison, it recently happened to him, and I wrote him a congratulatory letter. And so my professional goal was to get in, and that happened 4 years ago, and I thought, okay, you know, it's, you know, I gotta do this. I have to tell you that I'm very excited about the future. I'm excited to learn new things. I'm excited to continue my education. I'm excited to volunteer more and be more involved and give back, because I've had a really blessed life, and I just want to do more to help other people. I want to publicly also acknowledge my wife, Jerry, who has you know, this is my retirement, so. Does she get to retire? No, she already told me I can't come home. So, you know, for her support and sacrifice during my career, I want to thank you for that. And I want to say something about my kids. I mentioned Ryan. Allison's here. Jennifer's here. My new son-in-law, John's here. Sean's back there. And I want to say that there's not a father anywhere that could be more proud of his children than I am of you. So, I don't know if it was last night or this morning, Jerry said to me, so what are you going to say at your retirement? I said, well, I'm just going to thank everybody. And she goes, like, I think you should be funny, or you should like tell some jokes. And so by the time I got to work, she had emailed me the top 10 reasons I'm retiring. Okay, so this is from her. These are the, written by the wife, the top 10 reasons I'm retiring. Number 10, after my big bet on Facebook's IPO and my losses, I need to find a job that pays better. And actually, that was on the front page of the Times today, if you saw that. And only a wife could remind you of all the ways you've lost money in your life. Okay, number 9. My partners have moved my reserved parking space from where the attorneys park and put it in the back of the lot where the visitors park. Number 8. I'm having a midlife crisis. What? That can't be. I'm not gonna make it to 120 years old. Never mind. Number 7. I have a million memories and stories to share. Now if I could only remember them. Number 6. I'm leaving to start a winery and make a small fortune. Of course, I'm starting with a large fortune. Yeah, she said that one, because this is something I've toyed with, and she says, okay, you'll drink all the profits. And number 2, you don't need a reason to start drinking earlier in the day. Both are right. Number 5, now that I'm 60, I can't hear half of what the lawyers and judges are saying to me, and I can't remember the other half. Number 4, after financing my daughter's wedding, the cute couple's right here, I need to find a higher paying job, like hair modeling. Number 3, I'm bored with litigation. There's no stress or problems, and all the defense attorneys act like Mother Teresa. Number 2, I'm retiring. I can't even, oh, okay, this hits a little close to home. I'm retiring so that I will have time to listen to all my cell phone voice messages and learn how to text like everyone else here tonight. It's true. Anybody that leaves a message on my cell phone, I get it like 2 or 3 weeks later. And people have been texting me since I got a phone. It's, you know, my phone says I have trillion text messages. I don't know how to get them. And number 1, there are 2 units of measurement in life. One is money, and one is time. I'm blessed to have enough money. And God willing, I will now have more time to learn new things and the time to share with, more time to share with my family and my friends like all of you. Thank you.
Well, that part about not ever having a written partnership agreement, now you know why Tom lives in a mansion and we have a little modest ranch home, and why he's able to retire at 60. Now, just one little last thing. Rocky and the guys from Local 105 would like to come up and give Tom a little gift.
We would like to recognize the law firm first, and I must say is that back sometime in the 1990s, probably about 1996, 1997, a dear friend of ours who's no longer with us today, as the good Lord took him, he recommended this particular law firm to our local union in regards to represent our members in third-party litigation. And if there's ever a time that we can actually thank anybody, it would be that particular attorney who made that formal introduction to this law firm and Thon Beck. And I know, brother, you're not with us here tonight, in essence, physically, but you are with us mentally. And I would like to thank you for the years back that made that introduction to this law firm. I must say this is pretty awesome. I mean, you know, to be in the environment of Supervisor Michael Otanovich, and to look around and to see others that, for me personally, that I'm pretty awe of. And I must say is that I went up to Judge Ito. I don't know, is Judge Ito still here tonight? There he is, there he is. And I went up to Judge Ito and I says, you know what, sir, I want to share something with you. And the cordial man that he is, I says, you know what, I got a watch. And this watch says, go OJ.
E.
And this watch, the face of the watch, shows the police car going around the white Bronco. And he looked at me and he says, well, I got that watch too. So I thought I had one up on him, but I guess not. But anyway, to this great firm that we have partnered up with, we want to thank you so very much in representing our members. And I can only tell you is that our membership that we have recommended to the firm is nothing but thumbs up. And we want to thank you so very much in representing our members and state that where they're in at the time where they needed legal. And once again, thank you. Even though Tom is leaving to some degree, we from Sheet Metal Workers Local Union 105 will continue the partnership with this firm. And thank you very, very, very much. Secondly, for Mr. Thom Beck, I'm glad to hear or need to know that his first name is not Glenn. But I must say is that even though Tom, as an attorney who represented our members, did a phenomenal job, without to say secondly to anything that we, in essence, had to question. Each and every one of our members that Tom represented, nothing but thumbs up, and to nothing but the utmost appreciation, and also to what the job that he did for our membership. And we are so ever thankful to you, my dear friend, for what you have done for our members. But also in that, from a partnership that we have learned with Tom, it goes far beyond in just in a working relationship in respect to from legal to us. And that is we built a friendship. And I'm gonna tell you something, my friend, and I truly, truly mean this. This friendship will never end.
Good.
This friendship will continue as long as we are all here. And I must say is that I know that for all of us here tonight, as we're all recognizing this great firm and Mr. Thom Beck, you know, in closing, even though I'm going to ask Mr. Ringwood to come up here and read this plaque that we're going to present to Tom, I must say is that I just want to take something out of my pocket. And you know what? I'm not embarrassed to say something here, brother. I bought a new pair of shoes. I got these black shoes on tonight. Now, not to embarrass you, I took the tags off. You know, I went to Nordstrom Rack. And Nordstrom Rack, you know, they put the tags under the shoes, right? So I peeled them off. So you want to go out dancing tonight? We're going to go, okay? But I must say is that I just want to say something here. Even though we're all here to congratulate and thank and pat on the back, I just want to say something here. And that is Ti Ameo Fratello. And in Italian, that means, I love you, brother. And I truly mean that. And I'd like to ask Mr. Roy Ringwood to come up and present this plaque to Brother Thom Beck.
Thank you, Rocky. This is to Thom Beck. With sincere appreciation for your efforts in protecting the working class and your unwavering support of the American labor movement. We present this plaque to Mr. Thomas Patrick Beck on behalf of our members for the years of service in representing the Sheet Metal Workers International Association, Local Union 105. Enjoy your retirement, August the 3rd, 2012. But Tom, this is a plaque and it's meant for the wall.
Yeah.
From us personally, we thank you for all your expert skills. And as has been said here in many voices, for representing people in need. And we thank you for our membership in helping us represent them. Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Here, Tom.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That concludes our program. I'm sure you're glad to hear. Please continue to enjoy yourselves. We're open here till 9 o'clock. And the galleries, I believe, are still available as well. And then afterwards, if any of you are still around and interested, we're going to gather some people over at El Cholo for a couple of drinks. So thank you all again for coming and celebrating our occasions here. We really appreciate your love and support. Good night.